Now we will hear what few doctors of SHRI KAMAXIDEVI Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital Shiroda have to say regarding homeopathy and its treatment in PCOS.
Hi, this is Dr. Menka Kinkre, a practicing homeopath from Margao. Okay, as this is a month of PCOD or PCOS, I would like to talk a homeopathic approach or homeopathic treatment regarding the PCOD or the PCOS. Okay, so there are several medicines, homeopathic medicines to treat PCOS or PCOD, and homeopathy treats every patient or every person as an individual, and it has a holistic approach towards the individual. There are several constitutional medicines which treat the patient not only physically but mentally and spiritually. As I have seen in my practice several PCOD or PCOS cases, okay, which I have witnessed, and I have given them a constitutional treatment like several remedies like calcarea carb or calcarea phos, also silicia, pulsatilla. These are the several constitutional remedies which can help a case of PCOD or PCOS. Okay, thank you.
A very good day to one and all. Well, I'm Dr. Trisha Tercato Miranda, and I've been asked to speak on PCOD, polycystic ovarian disease. Okay, definitely the incidence and prevalence has definitely been on the rise. However, I would not want to touch on the medicine part since it's a short video. I'd like to touch on the homeopathic perspective of treatment. Okay, so when it comes to the PCOD, more in my experience, I've seen most of the cases have a very, very strong emotional component. When I say that, I mean that many of them have a very strong harboring emotion. Maybe it be anger or guilt or a fear. Like, it could be various emotions or a very major stress factor, okay, or a financial factor. So why? So you may wonder what's the connection of emotion in PCOD. But from the homeopathic point of view, it definitely has every connection with PCOD. Okay, mind and body are definitely interlinked to a great extent, and this is most of the times a very major cause of the resultant physical complaints, and PCOD just being one of them. Okay, those who have attended the 25th National Homeopathic Congress at Chennai in 2017, I presented my paper there, an evidence-based paper, on the same lines, wherein we have seen a case of very strong emotional grief, a very strong grief of the loss of a loved one, which has resulted in a series of complaints. It's also a case which shows the miasmatic evolution. Okay, so, and how post taking the case and settling, understanding the emotions and settling the case based on the emotions has led to the settling of all these string of physical complaints as well. Okay, so definitely we understand that emotions have a major role to play, and those who are suffering from PCOD also need to understand that homeopathy definitely stands as a very good option for treatment for themselves. Okay, so they need to be aware of the same. Okay, so yeah, I'll keep it, like I said, I'll keep it short. Okay, so definitely do keep in mind that homeopathy is one of the various options, especially those who are having a lot of physical complaints in regards to emotions being the main cause behind the problem. Okay, thank you.
Hello friends, this is Dr. Richa Raikar and I'm a homeopath practicing at Amona. I'm here to talk about PCOD and its correlation with mental health. As the time is passing, we see increasing cases of PCOD, and that is why it is important for us to have knowledge about the same. Apart from obesity and other lifestyle factor, there is one more important factor that contributes to the rising cases of PCOD, and yes, that is the mental health. Okay, so when we talk about mental health, it is not only always about the stress per se, but there are other important variables like our anxiety levels, excessive worrying, negative emotions, negative thoughts, recurrent stressful events in life, and one more harmful thing is the suppression of our emotions. Many of us have this habit of suppressing our emotions. So what happens when you suppress? Everything gets piled up within yourself. All these factors lead to a lot of burden in our mind, and just imagine where this burden will go. Obviously, this burden will be expressed by our body through disease form. What exactly happens is when our mind is under too much of stress, it releases one hormone, that is the cortisol. It is also known as stress hormone, which is further responsible for the imbalance in the hormonal levels in the body, and this exactly happens in the PCOD pathology as well. Now, what if you have PCOD? Nothing to worry about, because we have treatment available, and homeopathy is one of the best system that you can opt for, because it not only cures it completely, but it prevents you from further complications without any side effects. Now, one ought to remember that with any medication that you take, regular exercise and dietary changes are must. So here you have another advantage of using homeopathy, because it not only acts on the disease part, but it also acts on the metabolism rate, thereby improving your BMI, and it also has action on your mind level, which helps in reducing the psychological effect associated with PCOD, and thus we see a drastic overall improvement in the patients. And all this is possible, with natural gentle process of healing, without any much painful procedures, just with tiny homeopathic pills which has magnificent healing power. Thank you.
With this, we come to an end on this session on PCOS awareness. I hope you have understood what exactly PCOS is, what are its causes, what are its symptoms, what are its complications, how can you diagnose PCOS in yourself, and also the management. In case you have any more questions regarding PCOS, or if you want to opt for homeopathic treatment, you can contact me on the email ID and WhatsApp numbers given in the description, or you can contact SHRI KAMAXIDEVI Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital Shiroda for effective treatment of PCOS and other lifestyle disorders. Thank you.